It's really great to be here and share our journey towards Smart Factory. And I will be talking briefly about what we have done here in IAC, and hopefully it may inspire other companies to proceed in the same direction. Next slide. So we have measured 10 tasks and we could see an immediate effect from having to spend 290 minutes on different activities. And after creating our applications, we had reduced 265 minutes. And this has opened up a lot of time, especially for the supervisors, team leaders, and operators. So how did we get to this point? So before we dive into that, we must first look at how our situation was before. So we have the first one, we have communication. So this, for instance, was one of our biggest problems because you want the confirmation that every operator has received the latest information about new work instructions, quality issues, it may be running changes, or what is happening in the company. So the traditional way is to be used to sign a piece of paper, but it takes a lot of time and usually get lost during the process. And if an operator needs help from the team leader, it was very difficult to get the immediate support. So what we have done then with help of Tulip, we have programmed an internal mail system so we can directly communicate to every operator and also verify that they have received the info by scanning their company card. And this confirms that they have read the information. They may also vote whether a change is good or not, or if they have any questions, they can provide us with immediate feedback. We can also add a reminder. So, for instance, if they haven't answered, we can tell them that and remind them to read the information again. And because of this, we can see exactly how many people have received our mail. We have also implemented an unknown system, so the operator doesn't have to shout to get help from the team leader. By just simply pressing a button, they can send a notification to the team leader and receive help within seconds. So the next one is training, which was also one of a big problem for us. Because to maintain a high quality production line, we have to constantly educate our operators and perform operator audits to verify their knowledge. And normally, this requires a lot of time because you have to gather all operators, you have to have an available room and also people that can teach them different categories. And this can't be done spontaneously, but has to be planned. And that's a problem for running production, and especially with our company being a just in time and having 3 shifts working every day, because we don't have the time to do this without stopping the customer. So with Tulip, we have made it possible so that all operators can access the training material, and when there's time, they can either watch a video or read a document and then afterwards perform a quiz and then get a certificate. And also here you can also add a timer. So for example, every 6 months, the operator must redo the test. And in that way, we verify their competence, removing the need to perform operator audits. Which brings us to the next one. We have competence matrix. So when we have like 500 operators in one single plant, it's rather difficult to keep track of which training and which stations they have been taught. So we used to store this data in Excel, but we all know that Excel can be manipulated, and we also didn't have any linked connections that visualize the competence with proof of validation. So with Tulip, what we did is we linked the competence matrix to training. So once the operator has received a certificate, it automatically updates their competence matrix and then allows them to work on a specific station. So in this way, we also encourage them to educate themselves in order to be able to work in more stations. And then we have quality. So as Daniel and Lee mentioned, when we have a lot of data, but if we don't use the data properly, for me, that is considered pure waste of time. And that was our problem because we needed someone to extract the data, and then analyze it, sort out the top quality defects, and then print out the papers and then hang it in every station. And another thing that we did to prevent that our operator kept sending the same defects to end of line, one of the team leaders' tasks was to write information about the defect on a piece of paper. That is a routine that we call quality feedback, and then show it to the responsible operator and having them to sign it. So the whole purpose was to highlight what defects they miss and prevent it from happening again. And then we have to store that data in Excel and analyze it. So, I mean, this process itself took up to 50 minutes. And we should do this to every defect that we send. So as you can guess, it takes a lot of time for the team leader to do this. So the good thing about Tulip is not only do we get all of our data in real time and also automatically analyzed, but they're also shown in all stations. So the operator knows exactly what defects are sent from and to the station. So what have they missed and what have they found? And not only that, but we also have automated the quality feedback and quality alerts. So once a defect is registered or we have received a customer claim, it is shown directly to the operator screen in form like a pop-up alert, and they are forced to sign it once again by scanning their company card in order to proceed with the work. And because of this, we completely remove the middleman, which is the team leader in this case, and they can focus on more value-added activities, such as finding the solutions for this instead of having to constantly write on a piece of paper. And we have also built in an internal escalations process. So if the production line has the same defect within a short period of time, it automatically sends a notification to the supervisor or above to take action. And which brings us to the last one, the Team Performance Center. So this is the place where we gather key team members such as supervisors, quality engineer, manufacturing engineer, maintenance, etc., to discuss the daily production. And the supervisor is responsible to update the board every day, and it takes a lot of time, like Daniel talked about in the first section. And since it's all written manually, we don't have any history record, and we can't see what was discussed in the previous week. We also use something that we call accountability notes, which is a small piece of paper that we write information about if something needs to be improved or if we have an idea. So it's basically like an action plan. And this piece of paper is tracked daily in the meeting, but once again, it can be manipulated, it can be thrown away, and therefore we lose a lot of valuable information about the issues that we have in production. So with Tulip, all of the information related to production, it's almost updated automatically, which means we reduce a lot of time for the supervisor. And also the accountability notes are now done digitally, so we can track every action and then get a proper analyze to see what kind of issues we have, how long it takes to solve them, and if they're not solved within the time period, it automatically escalates to the management team. Yeah, next slide. So this is the front page of our smart screen, as I call it. It has the same user-friendly as our phones, where you have like different kind of applications, and you have these red circles that are notifications, which means things that you have to do, same as our iPhone or Android phone. So the first app, it is training, and which we discussed already. The second one is quality. The third one is production, and in this app you can see all related documents such as work instruction directly in the station. You can also see how much time you have spent on every station. Therefore, you can build like an automatic rotation schedule. The fourth one to the lower left is the CI and IPS, where you can perform 5S audits. You can upload your idea or participate in a Kaizen workshop. The fifth one, HR and health and safety, where you can, for instance, report an accident. And the last and final one is information, where we have our mail system where we can directly communicate to the operator, or where they can find latest information about the company, etc. So yeah, next slide. And this is the effect on the fused tasks that we have measured. And the light blue color is the before, and the dark blue is after. And as you can see, there's a lot of time that has been reduced, and even some of the tasks has been completely eliminated. Yeah. And the last and final slide. So what we initially liked about Tulip is that they had flipped the script. So instead of having to depend on one company or certain people to create the right application for you, Tulip provides you with all the tools, like Lee said, that's required to build the actual application by yourself. I mean, you could probably within a week or two create applications that would save you a lot of money. And instead of having to wait several weeks or months for a company to launch an application and probably pay a lot of cash, we could do this within hours or even days. So, and the best part is you don't have to be an expert or know how to program. They have this, like Lee mentioned, low code, no code, and drag and drop programming. You can learn within a week on, and you can start creating your own app. And to this day, there actually haven't been anything that we haven't been able to create. Every day we come up with new ideas from the production team, quality team. So we are constantly improving our production with these different kind of applications. And I used to say that the only thing that has been limiting us so far has been our creativity when it comes to Tulip, because there haven't been anything that we haven't been able to create. And yeah, that's it from my side.
All right. Wow. Thank you very much for the presentation, Salim. It's fantastic to hear, you know, the work that you've done. You being a true digital ambassador for IAC. I remember when we met the first time, and the vision that you had. It seems like you know, just within a couple of months here, you've been able to put that vision into some kind of a smart screen. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think the first time that the smart screen project was initiated was sometime back in, what was it, 2016, 2015 sometime?
Yeah, exactly. It's a funny story.
It's great to see what you've done so far, and I'm sure you have many more ideas on how to take it to the next level also. All right. With that said, I just want to just briefly say a few words about the slide that you see now. I mean, Tulip and Virtual Manufacturing have joined forces, so we have partnered up. The partnership itself has been carrying or been going on for quite a few years. So we are working very tight, very close together on more or less in a global environment. So from the virtual manufacturing side, we are supporting the Scandinavian countries. We have our office over in the UK, so we're supporting there. And we're also doing a lot together with Tulip over from our Asian operations over in Bangkok in Thailand. And yeah, I think the partnership has been great. I mean, we're super charged and excited to be part of this journey. And I think we've just seen the beginning so far. And you know, please feel free to reach out if you have questions or concerns. And yeah, anything to summarize, Kimberly, and at the end there?
Yeah, thank you very much, Lee, Daniel, and Salim. It's been great listening to you. We have got a few questions, but if you have any more questions, please type them in the chat. So we'll start with one for you, Salim. How did you decide where to start with your digitalization?
So as Daniel mentioned, I mean, it's a little bit funny because we have been planning this ever since 2017. And this is the project that I call Smart Screen. And it was actually one of my first ideas working as a production technician. And we wanted this all-in-one solution directly dedicated to our operators, team leaders, and supervisors. Some sort of like a tool to improve their production. So we had already then established the vision towards a digitalized factory. But the problem that we had at that time, all the companies that we reached out to, they could not offer us exactly what we wanted, or they wanted a lot of money because they had to program everything from the scratch. So what I did instead, I built the first demo on Excel using Visual Basic. And I mean, I love Excel. You can do a lot of things, but you're also very limited, and it's not sustainable if you start processing a lot of data. So unfortunately, our project was shut down. And if we fast forward it to 2023, we heard about Tulip through virtual manufacturing, and at first it sounded too good to be true, because it was exactly what we had been looking for ever since 2017. So when I had my first meeting with Daniel and Jens from Virtual, at the end I asked them, okay, what is the catch? And they were laughing and offered me 30 days of free trial. And so the next meeting that we had, we were basically done with the project. So I think they got a little bit shocked on how fast we did this.
Cool. Talking about free trials, Lee, is there any kind of free trial available?
It's a great question. I'm glad Salim mentioned it, actually, because we didn't touch on that in the presentation. But yeah, Salim mentioned a 30-day trial. He actually did his project in that time scale. So if you want to try it, find out for yourself. If you go to our website, www.tulip.co, that's .co, there's an option there to take a free trial. So just fill the details in. It's no obligation. We're not one of these companies that ask you for credit card details. Just put it in, give it a go. There's a few other things as well that you might want to think about. You'll also find links to our Tulip library that I mentioned during my presentation, where you can download some applications and tweak those and try them out as well. There's also our Tulip University as well, which you'll find links to. That's free of charge. It's got every single training course you can imagine to become an expert on Tulip. Typically, to get up and running, the basic courses take about 4 to 6 hours to complete. So please feel free, go check it out. If you need some help, let me, Daniel, know, and we'd be more than happy to give you some guidance to get started.
Perfect. We have one last question for you, Daniel. Can Tulip be used as an operator training system?
Oh, for sure. I mean, there's since it is an operations platform, and the apps can be sort of developed based on what you want to develop yourselves. I mean, there are many disciplines that we're covering within Tulip, and when it comes to operator training system or work instruction system, that is one of the, I would say, key areas that we're actually focusing on. Of course, there's other areas like quality assurance or machine monitoring, etc., that are also there. But like Lee mentioned, my suggestion would be take a look at the valuable apps that are on the web page. We like to refer to them as an app store for manufacturing. So all the apps there are dedicated to manufacturing. There are a lot of templates that can be downloaded free of charge and just start experimenting. But for sure, definitely.
Cool. Well, thank you all for joining us today. I hope you all found this insightful. We will send out a recording of the webinar to everybody after if you want to revisit any topics. If not, reach out if you have any other questions, and have a great day.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Have a wonderful day.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.